Hey guys, welcome back. It's the Jim and Doug Show, episode number 30.
Yes.
September 18th, 2018. A lot of stuff to go over here. So what do you say, Dougie? We start off with the NFL?
Yeah, so first off, everyone gets spared of our ugly mugs today doing a mobile show. So they don't have to stare at us this time. It's just an audio. But yeah, I got to start off with the football, and I got to start off with my Giants, man. They're just, I can't help but think they made a mistake. They made a big mistake, and I can't.
Why? Not by drafting Barkley, because this kid's going to be a player. I mean,
it has nothing to do with him. I'm seeing the warts that Eli has right now, and we're throwing a season away. And I know it's not all on him. It's almost impossible for him to operate the way he's used to. Well, I mean, he really can't be used to it anymore with the way the offensive line's been, for the past 5 years. But this offensive line is just porous, and you can't get anything done.
You can't hang Eli for this. This isn't on him right now.
I'm hanging him a little bit because he's not when he does get a chance to make a play, he's not doing it. He's not mobile enough to operate behind this line, and he's a complete statue. And when he does get a chance to make a throw or make a play downfield, he either misses his target, he doesn't see him, and he's checking it down. Barkley, there's no reason Barkley should have had 14 catches in that game.
Well, look, we always knew that. Listen, this kid, we got him for the long term. I don't think we needed the quarterback right now. We got so many holes. We'll get somebody either in the draft coming up or down the road, but we got a player in this kid Barkley, and we're going to have him for 10 years, and I still think we made the right pick, and I have no regrets on that one at all.
Okay. I mean, it has nothing to do with him because obviously he has potential to be even the best running back in the league. Because when you see a guy come and tackle him, he's undefeated against the first tackler.
No question.
The first tackler never gets him down. And it really is not an indictment on him. It's his position versus franchise quarterback that we could have had and could be learning the ropes right now instead of we're losing with this win-now team that is obviously not going to go anywhere.
Well, I'm not so sure there's a franchise quarterback. We haven't seen enough of these young kids yet. I mean, this kid Allen in Buffalo, I think he's going to be a player. I'm not sure why they're not giving Rosen the shot in
No, I don't get that either. I don't get that either. That's very peculiar. I think soon you'll see him, but maybe he's not ready, but he should get a chance soon.
Well, like I said, we'll see, and I think Sam Darnold came back to earth. Yes, he could be a good player, but I'm not gonna sway on my feelings that Barkley was the right choice. We got him for the long term.
It remains to be seen, obviously, but I'm feeling like we might be stuck without a quarterback very soon, and with all these skill players that they put a lot of money and resources into, what good does it do you if you don't have those quarterbacks?
Right, and the defense isn't playing any better than they did last year, and we got a lot of holes. So it's still early, but there's a lot of other things to talk about. I mean, this kid Mahomes in Kansas City, man, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, he was definitely the star. Him and Fitzpatrick, take your pick. Those are the two stars of the weekend. And Mahomes, man, he looks like he's already a star, and he's headed there. The Chiefs are, for the first time, I think, are a legitimate Super Bowl team. I really do. I feel that way.
Hey, I've always told you, I think Andy Reid is the best coach never to have won a Super Bowl. And this could, you're right, this could be his year. I thought it could have been with Alex Smith. I was always an Alex Smith guy.
Yeah. Disregard the ambulance going by me. Okay. You're right.
Let's not go crazy over Fitzpatrick. I always liked him too. But, Tampa Bay, they'll come back down to earth. He's not going to play like this all the time. And I thought it was Conor McGregor doing the post-game conference.
Yeah, that's the joke, everyone. Yeah, it looked exactly like him. He really did, with the beard and everything. I'm happy for Fitzpatrick. And look, he, whether you want to call it a fluke or not, when Winston comes back off his suspension, Fitzpatrick needs to stay in. I mean, he's lighting it up right now, so
right,
he needs to stay in.
Until Fitzpatrick comes back to earth, which he will. I mean, he will.
We've seen it before. He will, but the way they're playing now, they got to ride the hot hand, and they're gonna. That's one of my favorite games of the weekend. Is Well, it's actually Monday. Bucks and Steelers on Monday night. That's gonna be a ball game to watch for sure, because the Steelers the Bucks are riding high right now, and it looks like they put it all together. The Steelers are the opposite. They're desperate. They have boatloads of talent. They're desperate for a win. And that's going to be probably my favorite game to watch this weekend.
Well, I'll tell you, and I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I actually watched the Rams play. This kid Goff, what a turnaround! I mean, I'll give all the credit to Sean McVay for telling him how to play the game and calling the right plays and so forth. Yeah. But this kid is executing. I mean, he is executing. He was dead on. Wow, what a turnaround. You ever seen anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he looks great. Yeah, a lot of the credit goes to McVay. I mean, the talent is there, though. You can't make, you-know-what out of chicken salad. Or chicken salad out of you-know-what, So the talent is there, and he really does execute. He's got a lot of talent around him, too. This is the way I wish our offense could work. Because they sure look like the team to beat. They're loaded. Yeah, they're loaded. Their skill, like Gurley, is every bit as good as Barkley. They have receivers that are dangerous, speed guys. They have possession guys, a solid offensive line, and then if you go to the defensive side of the ball, I told you this in the preseason. They're loaded. Aaron Donald.
I'll give you that.
Aaron Donald.
I turned the page on Donald. I agree with you. He is a stud. There's no question about it.
He is that good, and he's worth it. Speaking of defensive players that are that good, how about Mac? Guy.
Well, no, I don't think anybody questioned what kind of player he was. And
no. I just want to bring him up. He's. I mean, I see. It seems like he's even better that he went to the Bears. I feel like I see him more. I mean, I'm not going to say I watched every Raiders game, but I watched a lot of them, and he looks even more relentless now than he was when he was with them. He's in the backfield on every play. And
I love the fact that they're paying him a ton of money. I love the fact that he wants to make he wants to show people he deserved it, and I know he wants to show Gruden what he gave up. There's no question about that.
Oh yeah, that Gruden speaking of Gruden, he can't find a pass rush anywhere now, and he's wondering what happened. I'll tell you what happened. You traded him away. Of a one man wrecking crew, you traded him away for draft picks.
I know, and he's going to tell you, hey, listen, we got 2 number 1s. We'll get some studs next year. This kid from Houston, they like.
Oliver's good. Yeah,
he is good. He is good.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll be the top pick or one of them. But right now he's hurting, and for your first impression as a coach, for that to be your move, and then to put this product out there. I mean, 0-2. They're heading into Miami. Miami looks all of a sudden formidable. They might be 0-3. And for Gruden, that to be his first year, bad first impression so far.
Well, we'll talk about Miami when we get to our picks at the end of the show. So I think that train's coming to a stop pretty soon.
You're probably right. But they do have some talent. They do have some talent for sure.
There's a couple other things we got to talk about as far as the NFL. This Vontae Davis thing, how bizarre was that? I mean.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you know, I guess, as they say. When you know that you can't compete and play in the league anymore, I guess he just realized it, because that was actually his first action of the year, because he was injured all preseason and sat out the first week.
Regardless, I mean, you don't do it at halftime.
I don't. It's hilarious that he did it at halftime. I don't condone that for sure.
And that's going to cost them a lot of money, because that's, instead of saying, hey, I'm retiring or I'm hurt or whatever, it's going to cost them a ton of money.
Yeah, I think there was something with the money that had to do with it. Like, once he played, it was guaranteed. A certain amount was guaranteed, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
It was a funny joke. I didn't really look into it as much as I probably should have. because it's a Bills player and the Bills are irrelevant right now. So I didn't read up at all every detail, but it was something with money that was guaranteed once he hit the field. That's what made me think it may have been pre-planned, because that was, like I said, that was his first action of the season.
Well, that was kind of an odd thing to see, and you're right. Buffalo's, they're reeling. I'm actually going to a Buffalo Bills game in a couple of weeks, so I'll see this kind of stuff firsthand.
Oh yeah, who they play?
I like Josh Allen. They're playing Tennessee that week, October 7th.
All right, that's decent. That's a good game.
And how about these field goal kickers? I mean, you ever seen anything like this? I mean,
it's an epidemic, I guess. It's an epidemic. And the funny thing is, you see all these kickers missing, and sitting at home with no job. And I don't know if that was his choice or not, but Dan Bailey, one of the best kickers of all time, if you go by just strictly accuracy and ability to kick a longer kick. Dan Bailey's one of the best kickers of all time, and Dallas cut him. And he's sitting at home without a job. Whether that's his choice or not, I don't know. But it's just funny to see. And lo and behold, the next day after the Vikings had that debacle with their kicker, Dan Bailey was signed.
Wow, they had them on the ropes. They had Green Bay on the ropes.
Well, Green Bay had them first. I actually would like to talk about that game, because you finally saw it, and I said it was going to happen. I don't want to say it. I know where you're going. Go ahead. You know where I'm going, and it wasn't. I hated to see it. As much as I don't like Green Bay, I really don't like them. But I hated to see it because it's just nonsense. It was just
Clay Matthews thing you're talking about.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It was just nonsense.
Absolutely nonsense. I mean, you're right. We did talk about it, that this is going to cost some team a game, and it already did. In the second week of the season.
Yeah, amazing. And I was just praying it wouldn't be my team, but now it doesn't matter. But it was just, where do you want the guy to hit him? You can't hit him high. You can't hit him low. Now you can't hit him in the midsection and fall on him. Like, what the heck do you want him to do, man?
No, I think the league is going to realize that they missed that. They
didn't. They doubled down. They said that goes along with the rule, and not only does it go along with the rule, but they're going to use that play as tape to show players what not to do. Explain. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean, when Newton went down and the guy smashed him in the head, that was a legitimate call. The guy got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was saying to my dad, I was like, he's got to be ejected, because that was just. And there was opportunity to avoid it. There was a way to at least not hit him with your helmet and hit him with your shoulder. He didn't make any effort to avoid it or even hit him with a different body part.
And that's what the league's trying to police. That's the call, not the Matthews thing. And I hope this doesn't happen again, because
it's going to happen. It's going to happen until they fix it, and I don't know if it'll get fixed. But the calls are just going to keep coming in, whether it's shots to the head. Now you see, I don't want to harp on this, but in college, every hard hit is a flag. Every hard hit, even if it's legal, because the refs, they don't see it. The college refs are obviously not as good as NFL refs, and you see it a little bit in the NFL, but not as much.
I don't see it as much in college yet. I don't see it as an epidemic yet.
I watch college football all day Saturday. Anytime someone got hit hard, they threw a flag, and then they go and review it. Every time. Wow. And they see it. They want to see whether he hit him illegally or not. So they'll, instead of just letting it slide, they stop the game, throw the flag, review it, have everyone look at it for 5 minutes, and then delay the game, and then come back and say, it was a legal hit, he led with the shoulder, or so-and-so, so-and-so. So
well,
NFL is getting there, but it's not that far yet.
Well, let's step out of the NFL and go to college just for a couple minutes, because I tell you, Nebraska loses to Troy. I mean, that's probably the biggest upset since Appalachian State beat Michigan like 10 years ago. That
was a big upset. I mean, we also saw Wisconsin go down. That was a big upset too. There was a couple this weekend that were a little crazy, but Nebraska, I don't know if they're dealing with injuries or, Scott Frost came in as like a very up and coming name for a head coach, and he really, he's 0-2. Obviously, he hasn't delivered yet, but I think he needs to get his recruits in there and have his style player in there before they, rush to judge him. But
yeah, I'm not going to hang Frost for that. You're right. This guy's got to come in. He's got to get his players. But how about this Chip Kelly? I mean, how many chances is this guy going to get?
Yeah, he's. The same thing. I would say the same thing goes for him, because he has showed success in the college level, and he needs to get his style player in there as well. But it's pretty pathetic what he's put, the product that he's putting out there. I'll say that. And he definitely shouldn't be 0-3. I don't care whose player he has. If you're coming in with the name you have and the contract that you no doubt got, you better produce at least a bowl game, and they're not headed there. They're not.
I think he's a fraud, and he won when he was at Oregon, but they had some really good players there, but he hasn't done anything since he left there. Anything.
No, he has not.
Except go to the bank and cash, these huge checks. That's all he's done.
Yeah. Everyone thought he was a godsend in Philly. Everyone thought he was a godsend, and
San Francisco. Yep.
San Francisco. One year there,
yep.
And him and Kaepernick were going to work wonders. That didn't happen. And he's even the coach. I saw the quarterback's father was complaining about Chip Kelly. Saying he's a fraud, this and that. That probably won't go over well.
Yeah, I don't care for fathers to jump in, but 3-0, 0-3 is just ludicrous out in UCLA, especially in the Pac-10. I don't get it.
Yeah, and the last thing for college I wanted to touch on, Ohio State. Look, I don't even want to. It was Urban Meyer. He scripted the plays. He was behind the scenes. He was there at practice all week. So I'm not gonna pat their assistant coach or whoever on the back too much for that game. But they did show an explosiveness, and I watched a lot of that game, almost all of it, and TCU had them pretty much on the ropes. They were up by 8 in the middle of the third quarter, and I was thinking, wow, they really might. Pull off this upset, in their own backyard at Jerry World, and Ohio State scored, I think, 4 times in 4 minutes, or 3 times in 4 minutes.
Oh, and no, they're loaded. They're loaded, no question about it.
And now with Meyer back, and there's a little bit less of a distraction, and more of a sense of normalcy. I see them going on a run. I do. I see them going on a run, and I think Meyer and Saban are on a collision course right now. It just seems that way.
I know. I just can't tell you how much respect I lost for Urban Meyer. I mean, he goes on and on and on and denies and denies and denies. And, then why even sit down with ESPN? Why even do that interview?
It was cringeworthy. That was cringeworthy.
It was horrible. It was awful.
I wanted to crawl out of my skin. He's a slime ball. I never liked him. I swear. And, it goes back to Florida and all the guys that he recruited there that he let run wild. And I never liked him. You can say what you want about Saban, but he at least upholds a standard that Meyer doesn't. And I'll root for Saban over Meyer any day.
We talked about it anyway. Nobody's beating Alabama. They are just head and shoulders above anybody.
Yeah, I think they're head and shoulders, and then it's Ohio State, and then it's the rest of the pack. So exactly. I think those two are on a collision course. And that's the college football. It wasn't that notable of a weekend. A lot, you had the big LSU Auburn game, and you had the TCU Ohio State. Those are the 2 big games that this weekend you might get a couple more. I got to look at the slate, but those are the 2 big games.
Yeah, LSU looked really impressive. I mean, it was either that or we overrated Auburn or we underestimated LSU. I'm not sure.
I think it's LSU.
We'll see.
LSU's got a quarterback now. They haven't in forever.
But like we talked about in the SEC, these guys play brutal schedules week after week. They get one snowflake every once a year. But we'll find out what kind of team LSU is because they're going to have to beat Alabama. Right?
Yeah. They have the defense to maybe hold them down. I think at least hold them to where their offense may be able to catch up.
Hold them down to what, 30 points?
Yeah, the 20s and 30s. Well, the 20s and 30s. That's That's the best you can do against Tua. Tua is amazing. That guy's amazing.
Hey, so let's just touch base real quick on high school football. Big game was this weekend with St. Joe's. I think you've heard of them.
I have.
They played DePaul. DePaul was the number 2 team in the state, and they're loaded. They got like 6 D1 guys on that team.
Quarterback's going to Penn State, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear they're very good. They destroyed Pope John, who was our rival. So yeah, we'll see about that. So who's home for that game?
We beat them on the road. It was St.
Oh, you
Joe's
played? Oh, it's late. Oh, I thought that was this weekend.
Yeah, St. Joe's beat them.
What was the score?
Like, I don't know. It was like 20-14 or something like
that. Oh,
okay.
It was a close game, and it was a well played game.
Yeah. So that was kind of a. How'd your Sparta guys do?
Sparta guys, they took a tough loss week 1 to Ramapo, which was, it was like the big public school game, probably 2 top teams public school wise in the state. They lost 21-18 to them, and then they've rebounded with 2 wins. They destroyed Roxbury, who they should have destroyed, and then they played Westmore Central, who's a good team, and they beat them, I think, by a touchdown. So they're rebounding. They probably won't get challenged again until the playoffs, I don't think. They have a lot of cupcake games and that they play, High Point and teams like that just don't measure up. So I don't think we'll see them, challenge at least until the playoffs. So,
well, they're going to end up having to meet Ramapo, I guess, if they're going to make the playoffs. Yeah. And Ramapo is loaded.
Ramapo, Green Hills. Yeah, they hung with them. Their kicker missed 3 extra points, 21-18. That's how they lost.
Wow. Okay.
So that's the story for that game. So they were right there, talent-wise. So that's at least something that they can hang their hat on.
Good.
All right.
Baseball.
Yes. I'm not happy. And I'm never happy, but I'm not happy with the Yankees. Even though they won last night, I felt like they lost. Just watching them throw the ball around like the Bad News Bears in the last inning. You watched it, right? And and they throwing the ball around like the Bad News Bears. It was just I don't. This team has a zero vibe. Like they don't have the vibe around them that they had last year, even though they're a better team than last year, record-wise. Like it doesn't look like they're having fun. It doesn't look like anything. There's no vibe.
They're not hitting.
Yeah, they're not hitting. There's no vibe around them. Stanton could hit just as well with a pencil, I think.
You're pretty down on Gardner too. I know.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Yeah, he's out. I like McCutcheon. McCutcheon at least added something. He's like when they picked up Ichiro that one year.
And I agree. That's why with McCutcheon there, that's why this whole Gardner thing has gone kind of almost under the radar. But like I said, I don't think they're going to sit him. But they're going to. That game's going to be out in Oakland. I know it. It's going to be out in Oakland.
Oakland lost last night, so they're 2.5 up on them now. So they might be able to hold them off. I think they got to take one more out of this Boston series, hopefully tonight. And then I think if they can do that and kind of just tread water, I think they'll hold off. Oakland, because that loss last night, they lost to a bad Angels team. And
yeah, well, that happens. I mean, nobody wins them all, but I think Oakland is a pretty solid team, and that's who the Yankees are going to play. So they better get ready. And like you said, I'm not sure if it's going to be Severino or Tanaka. I'd go with Tanaka.
I don't think it's either of them. I think it's Happ. I think it's Happ. He's been the most reliable, and his ERA is like exactly 2, I think.
What, since he's come over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 starts, 6 wins, and his ERA is 2. I think he's the guy.
I think they'll go with Tanaka. I think
Severino's
you know what?
Severino's not pitching.
No, he's not.
Tanaka or Happ. That's my opinion.
Yep.
Whether they want to go with the righty or lefty. I think that's what it is.
And how about the National League? How cool is this? Right? We haven't seen this kind of neck and neck kind of thing for a long time.
It's funny to see because the National League, everything's on the table. All the divisions, all the wild card spots. The AL, nothing's on the table. We know we can start the playoffs today. We can start the playoffs today in the AL. We pretty much know maybe there's a little bit of drama between Yankees and Oakland, who's going to be home and away. But besides that, we know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to win the divisions, who's going to be the wild card. I think it's great. And like I said, I'm not a big National League fan, but this has been pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And nothing's figured out, and every night something's happening. And the best is these AL West teams, they're all playing each other every series almost. It's Dodgers Rockies, it's Rockies Diamondbacks, Dodgers Cardinals they were just playing. Like all these teams are facing each other and these games are huge. That's what September baseball should be. And that's why they created that second wild card, to have this crazy push for teams to try and win the division or try and at least squeak into a wild card spot. So
the team I think is going to be the odd man out is Arizona. They just don't seem to have enough to keep up. And Kershaw is going to get 2 more starts probably, and
they're falling back. But there's still another team that has to be out between. It's the Cubs. The Cubs and Milwaukee are going for the Central, and I think the Cubs are going to hold them off. But it's the Cubs and Milwaukee going for the Central. And in the West, you have the Dodgers and the Rockies. They're all going for one spot. And there's only a couple spots, and you have the Cardinals. The Cardinals are right there too. So
right, who's nobody talking about? Nobody's talking about the Atlanta Braves. I mean,
the Braves kind of have it a little bit locked up now, because I think the Phillies have fallen back. So that might be the one race. I have to see how.
No, that's a done deal, no question. But I mean, they got a lot of young talent, and
yeah, they remind me of the Yankees from last year, and where they're there, and they're young, and they're gonna be living in the moment. They're not really scared of anything,
No, it's very exciting, actually, the National League. We're down to, actually the wild card games start 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, crazy.
We'll see how it goes. Real quick, so let's touch base on, FedEx Cup's coming. Who do you like on Sunday? Who do you like?
Oh, so FedEx Cup, I'll be watching, but I'm not all jacked up for it. I think Tiger won't be in the mix. I think too much needs to happen. DeChambeau, you're safe with because he's hot right now. He's feeling himself, and he made the Ryder Cup team. But I'm not gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with a guy. Probably no one wants to see this guy win because he's just kind of there, but he's a great golfer, Justin Rose. I think that's gonna be my pick. He always comes up big. He went toe-to-toe with Phil in the U.S. Open a couple years back, and he's always in the mix. And I think, if someone towards the top were to falter and fall back, and he's always plays solid, and he'll be near the top, no doubt. So I think I would give him as good a chance as anyone to win.
Yeah, that's not a reach. He's actually great. He's great. And,
I'm not saying I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm making my pick. And if I had to, throw a couple shekels down on it, I think you could do a lot worse than throwing it on him. He's always there. He's always in the mix. The guy, he manages the course so well, and he's strong. So he'd be my pick. I think he'll do well.
I'd love to see this kid Finau win it. I mean, that's kind of my long shot, I guess.
He's great. I think he's got a good chance. And if any of the top 6 right now in the FedEx Cup win the tournament, they win it all.
All right.
So I think Rose is 2. DeChambeau's 1, Rose is 2. There's like Keegan Bradley is up there, Finau. I forget who else is there. I think Koepka. So those guys they kind of control their own destiny a little bit. Justin Thomas. So they all control their own destiny.
Yeah, no, and you're right. I don't put much credence in the FedEx Cup thing.
Talk to me in a week.
Talk to me in a Ryder Cup.
Yeah, talk to me in a week when the Ryder Cup's going on. I'll be legitimately excited for that. I always pay attention to the golf and everything, so I'll have it on. I may not have it on when football's on, but I'll be checking in. And
I'm sure you will. That's why we have our show. We cover all the bases.
I'll be checking in, so I'll know what goes on. I'll know what's going on, but I'm not doing backflips.
Hey, give me your thoughts on the Alvarez and Triple D thing.
I watched the whole thing.
Did Triple G get robbed, or did he not get robbed?
No one got robbed because that fight was way too close to call. Anyone that gets upset about that, didn't watch the fight or just doesn't know boxing. Because here's the thing, and the popular opinion was that Triple G got robbed. The early rounds, Canelo dominated. I would say out of the first 8 rounds, Canelo won 6 of the first 8. Now, if you're going rounds 9 through 12, Triple G dominated. What does that equal? 6-6. It was very, very, very tightly contested. And if you favored, someone that's playing heavy-handed and doing more damage, then you're on the Canelo side. That's where I was. I scored it Canelo by 1 round. If you were looking at,
was a war. That was a war.
Yeah, it was a war. It was a great fight. I hope to God they fight again because it was great. That was the last time I felt like I got. Well, I didn't pay for it, but last time I felt like I got my time's worth watching a boxing match. I can't even remember, and that was a great fight. The Triple G, he had a case to win. Both of them had a case to win, and there was a case that it could be a draw. When there's a case that it could be a draw, you can't get upset because it just comes down to a judge's preference. It was a majority decision. Someone scored it a draw. The other 2 scored it 1 round in favor, 7-5 in favor of Canelo.
Well, this is all set up for a rematch. They will fight again.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah, and I'm down for it. I think they're down for it too. They probably got a great payday. It was a great fight. Obviously, I did feel bad for Triple G because he fought hard and it was his first career loss, and it was such a close fight that a judge really comes down to judge preference. If you put 3 other judges in there, it might have been 3 wins for Triple G. It might have been 3 for Canelo.
Absolutely. I don't have any problem with the decision. It was that close. It could have gone either way. I wouldn't have been upset whoever got the decision. But
yeah,
this is going to be a rematch that's going to generate a lot of revenue for a lot of people. So
absolutely, and that's how it should be. But yeah, it was way too close to call. But people tend to forget the early rounds and remember the later rounds more. And that was Triple G coming on strong, rounds 9 through 12. But Canelo did damage in the first few rounds. He did. I
do miss the old days when there was a 15-round fight. Cause,
yeah.
that
I don't know if
difference.
I don't know if they would have made it 15. Someone might have got knocked out because they were throwing violent punches at each other.
Right, but that's why I love the 15-round thing because that usually the 15 rounds, whoever was running out of gas, lost the fight in the 13th or the 14th round, and
yeah, no, if you made it 15, you earned it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, let's throw out our picks.
Well, how'd you do last week? I was 2 for 3 on my picks.
My picks last week. I had them written down. So let me just go in.
I took Cincinnati over Baltimore. I took Atlanta over Carolina, and I lost on Philly because Fitzpatrick sold his soul to the devil.
Oh, Philly, yeah. I know I had the Jets, who lost. Let me go back to week 2 here. I had the Jets who lost. I had KC, who won, and I couldn't for the life of me think of why they were getting 5 points. And my other pick was the Saints, who did not cover. They won but did not cover. I thought they were going to.
Like I said, we talked about it. Like we're going for the who wins the game. The point spreads are so. I don't know where they come from, and now with this whole DraftKings and all this other nonsense.
I'm throwing them in. I throw the spreads in.
All right. Well,
all right. I'll let you lead it off.
All right. Here's my 3 picks. Oakland's at Miami, and I know I told you, I'm not sold on Tannehill. I'm not sold on Miami, so I'm taking Oakland. Okay. Jets at Cleveland. And, again, I'm not sold on, and as long as Hugh Jackson's the coach of Cleveland, I just can't pick them, so I'm actually going to take the Jets. I know that's a surprise to you. And the Chargers at the Rams, I'm taking the Rams. And like I said, I know this guy Rivers is hot, but I've always told you, he is all statistics. And he's never won anything, and he's not going to beat the Rams. No way.
Okay. All right, so that makes very interesting because I'm going head-to-head with you on that game. I was going to throw out the Chargers, and for the sole reason I'm going to take the Chargers really is because everyone's on the Rams. Everyone's, the Rams are one of the darlings of the league. Everyone loves them. My Chargers plus 7.5 is my pick. I think the Rams will still win a close game, but if you're getting 7.5 points there, Chargers, they don't have to travel or staying in LA. I'm going to take them to cover the spread. If you're going to ask me for a winner, I'll say the Rams win a close one, but I'll take that 7.5. It just seems too easy. The Rams seem too easy to bet on right now, and anytime something seems too easy, I go the opposite way.
Well, you can always count on Phillip Rivers throwing the crucial pick late in the game.
You can, but I can always count on him to go for a backdoor cover, too, when he's down double digits.
All right.
So he does like to do that. All right, second choice. I'm going to go back to the well. I'll probably regret it. At New Orleans going into Atlanta. They're staying indoors. This offense is ready to wake up. Atlanta's missing some key components on their defense that are out for the year. So I'm going to go with the Saints +3 going into Atlanta. So they're in familiar territory, a team they faced. They're indoors. They're yet to really play their best game yet. The first two games. I mean, offensively they played well the first game. Second game, no offense, but the defense stepped up. So I think they can finally put it all together.
I don't disagree with you there. And
I think, if you're in a suicide pool or anything like that, you got one pick to make this week. And if you're not making this pick, then you deserve to live with the risk that you're going to make. Minnesota is hosting Buffalo. Minnesota's favored by 17 in that game. And if you're not taking Minnesota with your survivor pool, then I don't know what to tell you. Because they are going to destroy – that defense is going to destroy the Bills. And it's nothing against Josh Allen, but he's a rookie. And he does not know what he's walking into for that game.
I don't disagree with you there. That's a good suicide pick right there.
That's your pick for your suicide, survival, pick'em pool. Take the Vikings and just take the normal pick. Don't try and be different. Don't try and get cute. Don't try and save them for later. Take the pick and move on to week 4. That's the name of the game.
All right. So all noted. So we'll follow up next week. But I'll take 2 out of 3 every week.
Yeah. Well, that's that. If you're hitting 2 out of 3, you're in the money. So me, I'm 1 for 3 for both of the first 2 weeks. So not so good. Real quick before we go, touch on the sponsors.
Lynch Toyota, Manchester, Connecticut, and Harley Davidson of Utica. Joe Carbone, president. They're loyal to us, and they're our first 2 sponsored, so we tip our hat to them each week.
Yes, and thank you.
And real quick before we sign off, this Hurricane Florence, we mentioned it last week. Just thoughts out to those people. What a disaster they are facing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely not ideal for that area. Definitely a heart goes out to them. I think it's 90999 if you want to donate. I think that's the number. But you can double check that. But I think it's 9099, and you can send them a few bucks and everything. Everything goes a long way. So definitely.
You bet. Hey, so listen, our mugs will be back on the show next week. But thanks for joining us, and Jim and Doug signing off. Thanks, like I said, and again, throw out our email, Doug, for questions or thoughts.
JimandDougShow@gmail.com. So
Got it.
JimandDougShow@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We'll talk about anything you want. But signing off for this week. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Very good.